Bro, this video is for you if you're unsure if you should leave your relationship because of bad behavior. Now, what ends up happening for most guys is they'll be in a situation with this woman, he'll be in a relationship with her, and he'll love her very much, so he'll try to give her the benefit of the doubt. He'll try to do anything he can to try to see if he can appeal to her better part of herself. And so what'll end up happening is that she'll have some toxic behavior. Maybe she'll cross your boundaries. She'll do whatever for a while, and then she'll come around and she'll say, "Hey, I'm sorry," and then she'll start doing things and make a couple of changes, and you'll go back and forth in this pattern. So in this video, I'm gonna break down these habits, these things that are going on with her and with you, and determine if you should break up with this person, and then hopefully at the end of this video, you'll be able to make a conclusion for yourself. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men. Tens of thousands of men have come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betray to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. The first one is she disrespects your boundaries. In other words, what is a boundary? So let's define the terms here so you understand exactly what that is. So a boundary is something that you do not prefer in your relationship. It's not just a preference, actually. It's something that you cannot have in your relationship. And so most guys will come into the Broken to Badass program. If you want more information about that, link in the description below. They'll come to the Broken to Badass program. They'll say, "Ed, I've never had boundaries in my entire relationship. It was never something we even brought up." And so because there was no boundaries, he didn't know how to tell her no. Like he didn't know how to be like, "Yeah, I'm not going to deal with this." So one boundary that could be crossed would be, say your woman's flirting with another guy and it's obvious, and then she'll deny it, and then you'll get into this big fight about it. And what ends up happening is there's never any conclusion to it, because what she'll do is she'll gaslight you, deflect, shame, guilt you to try to make it your fault. And then at the end of the conversation, like, how did we get, like, this wasn't what we were talking about. We're talking about her flirting with this guy, but somehow the conversation never ends. And so whenever you're in an argument that never ends and comes to no resolution, think about the fact that maybe that argument is going on indefinitely for a reason. It's designed to wear you down and to find the holes in your armor so they can deflect and switch the argument back on you. And so the second thing is no responsibility, take no accountability in the relationship. So you can see that because you bring up this argument of boundaries, what ends up happening is there's no accountability in the relationship. She turns everything around, deflects it until it becomes your fault. And so the third one is also manipulation. In other words, somehow you're always made out to be the bad guy. Somehow you're always feeling terrible about what's happening. Somehow you're always at fault. Somehow her attraction or lack of attraction for you is somehow your fault. Everything tends to be your fault, and she takes no accountability. And so what ends up happening is, number 4, you always feel like you're walking on eggshells. In other words, you don't know what side of her you're going to get today. She comes home from work, maybe you'll get the nice side. But who knows? On a drop of a hat, you can get the tyrant. And the thing is you'll just say something like, hey, maybe trying to enforce a boundary, like, hey, don't yell at the kids. Or, hey, I'd like it for you to like put gas in my car and not leave it on empty. And then she'll deflect it, make it about you, and then she'll say, see, now you ruined this evening. So now everything is about you and how you're messing everything up. And so this puts you in this place where you don't know what to do. You feel like you're always walking on eggshells. You always feel like you cannot be just comfortable in your own house and be able to speak plainly what your mind is, speak plainly what your wants, needs, and desires are. And that's by design. And so what ends up happening is, number 5, your confidence gets undermined. You used to be pretty confident. You used to go out there, be a powerful dude. And now when you come home, maybe in business you're out there crushing, but when you come home, it's a different story. When you come home, you're in this place of like always on edge. And so you don't feel confident. And then this starts to bleed out into other areas of your life. Your social network starts to diminish. Your work performance starts to diminish. Your ability to go and engage and get clients starts to diminish. Your ability to parent your children, have authority and autonomy within yourself starts to diminish. And you start feeling like a shell of yourself, because all of your interactions are now catering to, how do we dance around this person's emotional state? Because whenever she gets set off, I get guilted, I get shamed, I get yelled at, I get threatened, and the toxic partner will often threaten the end of the relationship in order to get you to comply. And so in this space there, you get the sense of, yeah, they're not really loyal to me. They don't really want to be here with me. And so that's number 6. They'll threaten the end of the relationship, or they'll act in certain ways where you don't really know if they're loyal, and then they'll pin that onto you. Well, you're not being the kind of person I need you to be, so I'm not getting my needs met. And this is where the woman who cheats on her husband will now blame the husband for her actions. She'll take absolutely no accountability. And a lot of women will do this. A lot of women in a relationship with you, that when you're dealing with some sort of toxic behavior where she's manipulating, guilting, and shaming you or lying to you, again, she has no respect for you in this place. And so what she does is she'll tell you that she's not very interested in you. She'll tell you that she will leave you. And so this right here is the culmination of all the things combined, which is you're in a codependent relationship. And a codependent relationship is defined as, I promise to never leave you if you let me do whatever I want. And then on your side, you're like, I guess I have to let you do whatever you want because I don't want you to leave me. And this is the unspoken contract that you have with her. And she'll remind you of this shit all the time. So whenever you start to argue with her, hey, please don't leave a sink full of dishes. We have to do some dishes around here. I don't want to be the only one doing it. Then she bites your head off and says, you don't understand how overwhelmed I am. I'm busy all day. And I can't believe you would even bring this up, because if you really knew me, if you really heard me and understood me, you'd see that I was overwhelmed and you're just a careless asshole and you don't care about anybody but yourself. And see, now she's flipped it around on you. And now you're like, okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up and whatnot. And she's like, you know, why am I even here? Why am I with a guy like you? I need a real man. You're not a real man. Like, a real man would understand what this is and he'd get ahead of it. Like, he wouldn't allow this to happen. He wouldn't get so upset and start pouting like you are. And see, this is where she'll start threatening and insinuating that she'll leave you if you don't comply. And you're like, well, you know, we're married, so I have to do something about this. I have to stick with her. We've got kids together. And this is the game where you can see very clearly, I will never leave you if you let me do whatever I want. And I guess I have to let you do whatever you want because I don't want you to leave me. And this is where guys get crucified. And then it comes down to, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of power and I'm gonna leave you. And the second thing that happens is, oh, you wanna leave me? How about I make it super painful for you? I'll make it painful. You're not the one who gets to leave here. I'm the one who gets to leave here. So she'll try to cheat, and she'll cheat on you or whatever. And then you'll be like, how do I get her back? And then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna step into my power. And this is what we see all the time in a Broken to Badass program. A guy steps into his power, and then what she'll do is she'll start threatening custody of the children. She'll start threatening him in court. She'll start threatening abuse, saying that he's abusive, verbally abusive. And if you want to learn how to protect yourself in this situation where the relationship is dissolving, you don't want to step in something, and you want to know how to like deal with this with the lawyers in court and everything, check out this video right here. And the last thing she does, and you probably heard me say this about 14 times by now, she doesn't take responsibility. In fact, her taking responsibility means that she shows her hand. The manipulator never shows their hand. The narcissist or borderline, whoever's manipulating, it doesn't matter what the title or whatever the diagnosis or tendencies is. If they're manipulating you, that's all you need to know, that you need to you need to address the manipulation head on. And if it can't be taken head on because you won't take any responsibility, then you'll have to end the relationship. Because why? Well, what's the alternative? She's just gonna cheat on you, she's gonna leave you, she's gonna undermine you, she's gonna belittle you and just completely emasculate you until you're just a shell of yourself. And you're probably already feeling this now, so you don't really have a choice. And so to break the codependent cycle means that, right, let's review this. The codependent cycle is, hey, I'll never leave you if you let me do whatever I want. And you're like, okay, I guess I have to let you do whatever you want because I don't want you to leave me. And so what guys don't realize is their best bargaining chip for changing a relationship around is saying, you know what, I don't have to be here. I don't have to be in this relationship. I don't care if we're married. I'd rather be single than have to deal with this kind of bullshit. And this is what I had to do back in 2015. Actually, I started doing it back in 2014. I started standing up for myself in my previous marriage. It was so bad. I was so conflict averse that I could not tell her no. And so it got to the point where when I would say, okay, Ed, if she gives you a snipey remark 3 times, on the 3rd time, I'm gonna say something. And that's what I started to do. And I started to say something on the 3rd time. It started to work for about a month and a half. And I was like, all right, cool. She's changing the way she's approaching me. Then I started doing, I was like, okay, if she does it twice, I'm gonna say something. So when I started doing that, she started telling me, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells around you. And I was like, oh, that's fucking ironic. You're walking on eggshells. I'm the one who's getting belittled and emasculated all the time. But when I go to stand up for myself and tell you, hey, stop that, you're walking on eggshells? So this is called gaslighting. And so if you're dealing with that, that's number 7. You need to end your relationship if you're dealing with all these things. You will know by this point. If you've been watching this video, if you've watched it to this point, you will feel it in your bones what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with this in a relationship right now, go in the description below and join the Broken to Badass program. Brother, we'll get you out of this pain. We'll get you into a place of power within the week. It's what we do. I've had thousands of guys come through, 4,000 now, and counting. Every month we get dozens, sometimes close to 100 guys coming to this program. And you need to be a part of this as well if you're dealing with this. Anyways, I love you. And if you like this video, hit the like button so it'll show up in other people's feed. And if you want to make sure you see more, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified. And I'll see you in the next one.